Dear viewers, these are the birds that have really performed very, very well using these herbal remedies. They are right here, very healthy birds, okay? And they have now laid for 1 year, okay? But still, their production is very, very high.
Hello viewers, welcome once again to the Viral Hunters channel TV. With me tonight, I have another important guest in the studio. This is the second time we are hosting her. And Madam, you're welcome. And I request you to tell our viewers briefly, once again, introduce yourself, because in our previous interview, I believe there are people who didn't have a chance of watching you before. So you're welcome.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so delighted to be here tonight, and I'm so grateful to the Viral Hunter because this is the second time he's hosting me. I'm called Alinga Cissy. I am from Urban Harvest Organic Farm. I am a poultry farmer, so passionate about poultry farming, and currently I'm practicing purely organic farming. So I'm so grateful to be here, and I'm ready to give all the information that you would want to know about organic farming.
Well, thank you so much, Madam Cissy. Once again, you're welcome. Like you've told us, you've told the viewers out there that you do organic farming, poultry farming. Briefly tell us what you mean by organic poultry farming. What do you mean when you say you do organic poultry farming?
Okay, when someone talks about organic poultry farming, there is doing it purely whereby someone is keeping poultry birds. Okay, poultry birds includes all types of birds, but basically I do layers. I have purely local ducks, I have purely local chicken, and the purely local turkeys. And then when I talk of purely organic farming, it means I raise these birds on purely the herbal remedies without vaccination. And then also there is this group of people who will do organic farming, but when they are still doing the vaccination. So currently with the purely local birds, I've been practicing purely organic farming. But with my layers, the current flock that I have, I did the vaccination in the beginning, but it's now like 8 months. I've not done anything called vaccination, and majorly I just give them the herbal remedies. So that is what is called purely organic farming. Like you do not use the modern medicine or the Western medicine, or like the antibiotics or the vitamins to give to these birds. All you do is to use the herbal remedies, the African herbal medicines, to give to the birds. So that's what is meant by pure, like organic farming.
Okay. So what you're trying to tell us is in your farm, you have basically eliminated the use of the Western medicine in treating your birds, right?
Yes.
Okay. Madam Cissy, could you tell us what has been the motivation factor that has made you to adapt the organic method of treating your birds compared to the synthetic medication or the Western medication, and you have now migrated into the herbal method?
Okay, I've been doing poultry farming when this year clocks September. That will be my 7th year of doing poultry farming. And in this 7th year of doing poultry farming, the current birds are the ones I did majorly purely herbal remedies. Okay, I said in the beginning, I said that I did the vaccination when these birds were still young, but now these birds have laid for 1 year. Actually, we just made it 1 year on the 16th. That's like 1 day ago of in production. And these are the birds that have been using only herbal remedies. But for the rest of the flocks that I've had, I've been using the Western medicine. And if I compare the production of these current birds with the previous, but I think this ones are much better. And what motivated me basically to use the herbal remedies is that when I brought in my second flock, those birds got Newcastle disease. During that time, I still didn't know much about poultry farming, and I did not know that was Newcastle disease. So I ended up losing so many birds. Actually, it reached around 700 birds. But I tried so many medication that so many people were telling me about, and they were not working. Until one day I called a friend of mine, and he told me try to give those birds aloe vera, ginger, and garlic. So that is what I decided to use. And after using those herbs, like after like 5 days, I started seeing some changes. So that is when I realized that this could also be very good for these birds. That particular flock, I continued using the Western medicine. I was not yet very sure, but when I brought this particular bird, it just crossed my mind that let me first try using these organic remedies. And honestly, it was not a wrong decision that I made. It was actually a very great move because these are the birds that have really performed to my satisfaction. And they're still performing well, which has inspired so many people to join poultry farming. So that is, it just started from that very flock that got Newcastle disease, and a friend of mine advised me to use those aloe vera, ginger, and garlic, and I saw how it worked. At least there was some improvement. So that is where the root of me using the herbal remedy started.
Okay.
Yes.
So the infection of your previous flock by Newcastle disease,
Yes.
and your attempt to treat the birds with the Western medication, and did not work out. And later, when you try again to use the herbal medication, and you got better results, it was the breaking point.
Yes.
It was your turning moment in making you to shift from using the medication, the synthetic medication, to the herbal. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yes, basically that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. But I think also by the time now that I was trying out this Western medicine, the disease had already escalated in the whole farm, because ideally I could enter the farm, I find 2 birds dead, 3 birds dead, and I did not understand what was going on. So I could just go to the animal drug shops, explain to the people there what is going on, and they just give me any medicine that they would think would match my problem. So by that time, I think all the birds were already infected by this Newcastle disease. So that even made it more hard for me to treat it, because now the birds were already sick, and it actually reached a time that I was losing over 50 birds in a day. That is how I ended up losing over 700 layers to Newcastle disease. But when I started using this aloe vera, and I said I will not now buy more medicine. Let me now use this ones and you see. So actually I'd already given up. Completely. But that is how now it ended. The Newcastle also ended now after now. I just continued using it. But still I went back to the modern medicine. But now this particular flock is the one now I totally made up my mind to use the herb.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it was a tough experience.
It was tough.
Learning in a hard way.
Yeah, it's true.
If you talk of in your statement, you told us that the performance, when you compare the performance when you are using the Western medication to treat the birds, compared to the current this flock which you're using the herbal remedies, you say the performance of the herbal medication is better than that one of the previous when you are using the Western medication. If you say that, so it's better in terms of what? In terms of production, or in terms of their physical health, weight, and what parameters do you use to make that comparison? For example, if what was the quantity of the previous flock you had? If I told you had less about 500 birds, and this flock, assuming you also have about 500 birds, we are not sure. If you compare the egg production, the egg production, what is the margin the difference between the two? Assume, like, how many trays were you getting in the same number of the birds compared to the tray of eggs you're getting right now when you are using the herbal medication?
Currently I have around 324 birds in stock, but you find that I'm getting around 10 trays and a half. But in the previous flock, if this were the birds in the previous flock, the same number, let's say 324, I would be getting like 8 trays of eggs or 7 trays of eggs. Okay, so that means the current birds are performing well compared to the previous birds, and these are birds that have already laid for 1 year, and still their performance is consistent. Okay, but with the previous flocks, birds will start laying very well, but along the way, as they make it to 6 months to 1 year, you find that the birds have already greatly dropped in their production. And then according to, if you compare the disease resistance, you find that these birds are so resistant to diseases compared to the previous flock. Okay, and then if you look at how these birds are very active, okay, you find these ones are more active compared to the previous birds that I had. Even when you slaughter the bird and you're eating it, you really see it is, the meat is so tasty, compared to the previous. But even the eggs, you find I have purely yellow yolk eggs, which are very yummy, taste very nice compared to the previous eggs that I have, okay, that I had. So you realize that this particular flock is far much better. Actually, to people who are in my channel, Alinga Cissy YouTube channel, most of them are inspired because of this particular flock. Most of them started poultry farming because of this particular flock. Okay, so you realize that even the eggshells are very strong, the eggs are very big compared to the previous birds that have had. So that makes me say that these birds have performed to my satisfaction because of these herbal remedies compared to the previous birds, whereby I was purely using the modern medicine.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. I would love to have a chance to test.
Okay.
Yeah, this bird, the one with the current feed on the herbal one. I feel after this interview, we shall have a test.
Yes.
The other thing that you are doing your poultry within the city, and when you talk of the herbal remedies, we expect things like having those herbs, the plants, and the leaves, the trees of various species. How easy is it for you to obtain these herbals within the city?
Well, being within the city and in a small piece of land, of course, if you can look around my home here, I've not planted any of them. I think because I have a very stubborn dog that whenever I plant things, you find it uprooting it, okay? So the only solution that I have is to go to the market and purchase these herbs, okay? Of which it is also a bit of a challenge because I imagine I can say maybe every Saturday going to town to those markets. And mainly I buy from Owino market and Kalere market. So it is not sometimes very easy because you would want to buy this particular leaves and they are not available, okay? Or you might reach late when it is done. So what I do, I normally just go to the market and buy them. So it is okay. It is also not very easy for me to get them because I have to move up to town and purchase them from the market, okay? So it is also another challenge, if I may say, okay? Because you find that here at the farm, at least every day there's this particular herbs that we're giving to the birds. Even when you go inside the farm right now, you'll find that at least in their drinking water, I've maybe mixed their ginger, or I've put garlic, or I've put turmeric, okay? So I make sure at least every day they have something they are taking. But of course, I have to go to the market and purchase them and bring them. But it has actually, I cannot say it is a challenge because the results are good. The results are amazing. Okay, the results are really so wonderful. Yes.
Wow, that is good. Before we come to the end of the interview, there are perhaps would also want to know, the viewers out there want to know, assuming initially a farmer out there, or I have my birds, and somewhere before watching this interview or before getting to know from you about the herbal solution, I've been using the Western medication. Now that I have the knowledge that the herbal solution also works out better than the synthetic medication, can a farmer shift the medication formula from the Western medicine to the herbal, or is there by any chance can we integrate the two medication together at the same time? For this disease, I can use the herbal. For another disease, I can use the synthetic remedy. Is it possible?
Yes, I may say it's possible.
And would you advise that it is okay?
Okay, personally, I would say if you want to use the modern medicine, kindly use the modern medicine. If you want to use the herbal remedies, use the herbal remedies. Why? If you integrate the two, you will not understand what has helped you. Okay? Why I'm now very serious on the herbal remedies, because I decided to basically use the herbal remedies, not to mix these two, and that is why I've seen the results. But if I was mixing these two, I would not be here seated confirming that these herbal remedies are really very good. So that's why in most cases I tell people that if you want the modern medicine, it is well and good, please, you can use the modern medicine. If you want the herbal remedies, please stick to the herbal remedies. But however, there are other groups, let's say just leaves, because we do give the cabbages, we do give the cocoyam leaves, we do give the matoke peelings, we do give the amaranthus. Those ones you just chop and give them in the afternoon when they are done with their feeding. Probably now when they are bored, pecking on each other, jumping up and down, you can introduce those leaves. Those ones it is okay. Even for someone who is using the modern medicine, you can still give those leaves. But now if it comes to treating a disease, let's say Newcastle outbreak has come in, or the chronic respiratory disease has come in, I would advise, if you're using the herbal remedies, please stick to the herbal remedies. If you go to my channel, you find that I've given different combinations of the herbs that you can use to treat those diseases. So if you choose to use that, please stick to that, because that will help you understand whether these herbal remedies are good. But if you decide that you use the modern medicine, kindly use the modern medicine, because I will not force you to use the herbal remedies or to not to vaccinate your bird. You're free to do anything that you want in your farm. But this is me, how it has helped me. Everyone who watches me on my channel, they have seen how my birds perform. But just because I made a decision and said I will not integrate the two, I will first stick to this, okay? Then I see how the benefit will come out. So it is not, I would say, please, let's not integrate the two. But it is also upon you. But with the leaves, you can give these birds the leaves, even when you're using the modern medicine. So if treating a disease, please, if we're using the herbal remedies, let us use the herbal remedies. If you're using the modern medicine, kindly stick to that. But what I want to tell everyone is that these African herbal remedies are really so wonderful. They really work, but only that we think they do not work. But Alinga here is seated and saying, look, these things are possible. If we stick to it and we be consistent, it will help our birds, because it has helped my birds. And these are birds that they have made 1 year in production, but they are still performing up to 96 or 97, 98% performance. So that is all I can tell you.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much for your elaboration. So we've been talking about diseases, the herbal remedies, the diseases, herbal remedies. Some viewers out there someone would want to know, often, maybe can you tell us some of the diseases
Okay.
um, involved that you've encountered in the process of your poultry farming, and then with some of the corresponding herbal solutions that you've been using.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, with these birds, especially the layers, okay, and let's say the broilers, let's leave outside the local birds, okay, because the local birds you can treat them anyhow you want. You can say I will keep giving them this or not, because for them they look also they go into the bush look for their food, so they eat the herbs from there. So let us talk about the layers and the broilers, and I will majorly talk about the layers. Now, with the layers, you have to deworm these birds, okay? At least every after 6 weeks. But here I encourage let us deworm every after 4 weeks, let's say every month, okay? So once I've already seen their droppings change and you realize that these birds are affected by worms. So normally, whenever I give them charcoal, I can mix this charcoal with aloe vera or charcoal with garlic.
That is when you're deworming.
That is when I'm deworming, yeah? And give them for 5 consecutive days. You really see a very big change immediately.
So you deworm at what interval?
I deworm every month. Okay. You can also use the purple leaves, the purple seeds, or the papaya seeds. You can mix it also with garlic, okay, or you can even mix it with the ginger, okay. I've seen it work immediately, okay. Even when the birds have the worms disappear. Even when the bird's stool is too loose or so watery, immediately you see change, okay. At one point I was affected by the chronic respiratory diseases. Honestly, it was very tough in a way that I just woke up in the morning and my girl who helped me at the farm told me, Auntie, first come and see all these birds. You know, I entered the farm and they all had swollen head, as if the birds had mums. And I said, Alinga, this time the herbal remedies must help you. I decided to use a turmeric. I mixed it with pepper. Chili pepper. I mixed it with the ginger. I mixed it with the garlic. And I gave these birds for 7 consecutive days. And honestly, the birds got well. The production lowered. I can say it even lowered up to like 2 trays of eggs. But after treating these birds, I went back to my normal production, okay? Now, my birds were affected by heat stress some time back, okay? I decided to treat these birds, okay? I gave them ginger. I added some charcoal. I added some aloe vera.
Wait, when you say heat stress?
Heat stress, this is during the dry season. These birds also feel a lot of, like the body temperature always rises in a way that if you see your birds panting, the birds' feathers are just like this, you just see them breathing through the mouth, opening the mouth, that bird is affected by heat. So it even lowers production. You find that your birds will not lay as it is supposed to lay, okay? So I treat them and you see my production go back to normal. These are some of the problems that we have in poultry farming that we just have to address them and play around with the cards. Okay. Yes. So even with the Newcastle disease, I remember like 2 months ago, I started noticing my eggs were not okay. They're coming out when they're deformed, when they're not okay. And it is now like 8 months I've not dewormed it. I've not vaccinated them. Because with Newcastle disease, you continuously vaccinate those birds. Even if they're already laying, every after 8 weeks, you're supposed to vaccinate the birds. But I decided to say, no, I'm not going to do this vaccination again. So it is now 8 months. My members in my channel, they know we have not done vaccination. So I started noticing my birds having these deformed eggs, signs of Newcastle disease. At point T, I thought maybe the feeds were not mixed well, of which I even called the store where I get the feeds from and told them that these particular feeds are making my birds lay eggs which are very soft. And indeed, the eggs were very soft. Birds were already eating their eggs, okay? So I decided to say, okay, let me first treat Newcastle disease. And that is what I did. I used aloe vera, I used garlic, I used ginger, I used, I used those ones and treated these birds for 7 consecutive days. Up to today, my eggs are very strong. You find that Alinga is one farmer who collects her eggs very late. I can even mean to collect late in the night. And the eggs are in the open. You've entered the farm and you've seen. The eggs are in the open and the birds are not even eating the eggs. So that is the magic of this herbal remedies. Okay? Yes.
Thank you so much, Madam Cissy. I'm sure you've had some of the common diseases that affect the poultry,
Yes.
particularly the layers that Cissy has explained, and then the corresponding herbal remedies.
Okay.
Yes.
If I may first, this herbal remedies do not only apply to layers, even to broilers, even to the local
Chicken.
to the local birds.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for that elaboration. I believe there are still more and more diseases that you've treated before using the herbal solution.
Yes.
Because of time, we may not be able to exhaust all this right now. But viewers, as Cissy has explained before, there's for more details, there's an independent channel that she purely teaches farmers about poultry, and all the details can be got from there. At the end of this, we shall give an address through which you can make reference to Cissy's channel and get more detailed information. Cissy, before we conclude this, maybe there's some other additional information which we may not have asked you during this channel, but you feel it's important for any other farmer out there to know as far as the herbal treatment, poultry treatment is concerned. Within a few seconds, you can summarize and tell the viewers there something before you can conclude.
Okay. All I can tell you. Okay. There's no more additional information anyway. But all I want to say is that these herbal remedies do work in our farms if only we can embrace its use. Okay, and it also works in all types of birds. For the animals, I cannot guarantee that because I'm not an animal keeper. Much as I have some few in the village, but you know, the village one is different. Okay, so but for these herbal remedies, it works for all types of birds, whether you have the broilers, the quailers, the layers, the local birds, all types of local birds, they do work. And I am not saying that you do not use a modern medicine. That one is upon you because the business is yours. It is upon you to choose what you want to use in your farm. But also for the beginners out there, you must know that poultry farming is not for the faint-hearted. Poultry farming is not a venture that you just start and play around with it, okay? You must do all it takes to make sure that your birds perform. Now, like these feeds are expensive. For us who are using the commercial feeds, the feeds are expensive. So if you do not be innovative enough and creative, those birds might end up not performing and you might end up losing your capital. And for someone who has little capital and has decided to invest, you will not feel good about it. So that's why I say that let us be innovative enough, let us be creative, and let us embrace the use of our herbal remedies. Okay, as Africans, let us embrace the use of our herbal remedies. We shall like it and we shall not regret. And I want to say thank you for watching this video. If you've not subscribed, please kindly subscribe to the Viral Hunter YouTube channel. Let us support him to make it to 1,000 subscribers. And for those who have not subscribed to Alinga Cissy YouTube channel, kindly go and subscribe. You will get all the information that you need. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening.
Thank you so much, Madam Cissy. But it's not yet over.
Okay.
From this point, I would love us to move to the farm.
Okay.
And then we see the birds, the ones that you've really been on herbal medication.
Okay.
And then
maybe we shall break some eggs.
Okay.
And see how yellow your eggs are.
But I will not pay for it.
You will not pay for it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Viewers, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation to the Viral Hunters TV channel. And thank you so much for whatever information you've given out there. Somewhere, somehow, is important to a farmer out there, someone who is beginning, and someone who has been suffering with some of these diseases and has been looking everywhere for countless solutions but has not succeeded. We believe from your interview, it's going to change someone's life. Viewers, thank you as we wait out for part 2 as we visit the farm.
So this is where I normally store my eggs after removing from the farm. But before breaking the eggs, I wanted to show you some of the herbs that I use in my farm. I give these birds. Now this is cloves. I'm sure some of you know cloves. I also give these birds cloves. These are beetroots. I'm sure most of you know beetroot. Just cut it like this. I also give it to the birds. We have here carrots. All these things you see, I brought them for giving to these birds, okay? These are carrots. Then we have charcoal, okay? I also give charcoal, but charcoal which is got from woods that are not sprayed with dangerous chemicals, okay? I love it also a lot. And then we have ginger. Most of you know ginger. It's called tangawuzi in my local language, okay? Okay, this is ginger. We have turmeric. It's very good, very, very good. Cannot miss it in my farm. Then we have garlic. Some of you know garlic, okay? I love it a lot. I also use it a lot in my farm, okay? These are some of the herbs that I have it present. Others are also there, but I don't have them now, okay? Then I'm going to pick eggs randomly, okay? Cameraman, you come closely. So I'll just pick randomly and we see how they are very yellow. You see, the eggshells are even very, very strong. Okay? The eggshells are very strong. These are eggs that I got from my farm. Okay? And if you do like this, you can see how yellow these eggs are. And they are very nutritious and so yummy if you eat them. You see? But you find that if you go to some other farms, their eggs are not as yellow as this. If they are yellow, so some of them give their some chemicals or there are some drugs that you give the birds to make their eggs yellow. But for our farm here, I give these birds these herbal remedies, and that's what makes their eggs to come out when they are purely yellow like this. So let's go inside the farm and see other birds. Thank you. So, dear viewers, these are the birds that have really performed very, very well using these herbal remedies. They are right here, very healthy birds, okay? And they have now laid for 1 year, okay? But still, their production is very, very high. Imagine, we have now 324 birds, but still, we get around 10 trays plus. So that means over 300 birds are still performing very, very well. So that is the beauty of using herbal remedies. You can see they are very active. They are thinking that I've brought some greens because sometimes at this time of the hour of the evening is when I bring them these greens, okay? So that's why you see them making a lot of noise. So these are the birds. Very healthy and very healthy.
Thank you. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that for every other upcoming series you are able to be notified. And this is not the last time we are going to host this in the studio. Due to public demand, a lot of people have been contacting us that they want her back again. Still on another topic, some other time we shall be able to have her. So for any other question that you have unanswered, you go below the in the comment section there. You can be able to ask. Also, as you tune in and wait for the next time that we're going to host her, you're going to be able to notify in our post. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.